The Illawarra it's a very beautiful place. It's right on the ocean, and it's picturesque and mountainous, and at the same time, for those reasons, you'd expect it to be a tourist destination, but it's really not. It's been more an industrial location. We've had big steelworks there for many, many years, and as a result, it's become a blue-collar town, and the people there are fanatical about their sport.
First impression, I mean, it was sunny out there, and I was expecting it to be real cold, I think. And then first impression, I mean, just when I went there, I was just happy, just ready to play for real.
So lucky that we have the Hawks basketball team here in the Illawarra. Like, not every regional city in Australia has a basketball team for their city, but it's really big. Like, we have a lot of fans here, and we go and watch their games here, and a lot of fans travel to watch them play in different parts of Australia as well. But it's a big part of the Illawarra. The Hawks is definitely.
There's a lot of energy. Like, when the other team shoots three throws, you diss them and you boo them. And by the end of the game, you probably lost your voice. Like, half of the people have probably lost my voice.
LaMelo's needs at the time were really interesting to me. I mean, it seemed to suit both parties in the sense that he had a massive profile that we knew he would bring to the NBL immediately.
When LaMelo was coming down here, when we heard his signing, we were just praying he'd play for a team in Melbourne, and so we could just go watch him play. But yeah, it was just so hard when he came down here. Everything was just high in demand. Like, now it'd be so easy to go see either Melbourne United play versus Illawarra or something, whereas last season it was so hard to even have a chance to go see him play. As I said, there was so many other people. You see him with LaMelo Ball. As I said, we live in Melbourne. Normally, if you live in Melbourne, you'd support a Victorian-based team or whatever. Victoria's our state, so you'd support Melbourne United or Southeast Melbourne. But you've seen people that day in the city wearing Illawarra Hawks jerseys just because of, obviously, LaMelo.
Illawarra are consistently underdogs as well, and they punch above their weight. I think that added a little bit of excitement to it from the Australian public's point of view. It was like, yeah, he's the underdog. He's coming to the other side of the world. He's not going to the big, glamorous Showtime team. He's rolling his sleeves up, coming to a blue-collar town and getting to work. And for that reason, I think he was, that and the fact that he's just a lovely young guy, I think he was extremely well received and proved to be very, very popular here, particularly with youngsters.
It was really weird because heaps of people, it wasn't on the normal games, it was never really that loud, but when we first went to watch him, everyone was just screaming and throwing stuff onto the court. It was so funny.
If you told someone 12 months earlier that the Illawarra Hawks game against the Sydney Kings was going to be the most attended and most watched NBL game in history, and that 2 million of those viewers would be watching from the USA, no one in their right mind would have believed you, and yet that's exactly what happened.
I remember sending the game to overtime for sure. Crowd was going crazy. I think that's the game Mitch went to, so I remember that too. Yeah.
this small little bit that came into Australia that went, oh, wow, basketball is actually a really cool, huge, amazingly talented sport that you'd actually want to go and see, even if you're not a person that plays basketball. I've never played basketball. I'm in love with basketball.
They were still packing out games. And you could just see the crowd, even if they're down 20 or 30 points, because they did get it blown out a couple of times, you'd see LaMelo do a couple of things and fans will still stay. Whereas normally, and this is obviously the LaMelo effect, normally when a team's down by like 15, 20 points here, fans will start leaving at three-quarter time. It's shortened quarters as well. It's 10-minute quarters. So it's not the full 12. So LaMelo got back-to-back triple-doubles in a shortened game, playing 8 minutes less.
And just going to watch him play at games, I was just amazed of how much like a team player he was. Like he just wouldn't hog the ball. He would hardly even shoot for himself. He would always just look for all these passes to his teammates, and he just really made a point of that. It was just so nice to see. He was just so talented and so young, and it was just lovely to watch him play. It was really, really special to watch him play, I found.
Every time I went overseas, I mean, it's like culture shock for real, life opening. I mean, I feel like you can learn a lot, see a lot, just going out there, experiencing. I mean, pretty much going around the world, you're going to experience and learn stuff by just meeting other people, seeing other people, seeing what other people do, how other people interact, act, everything different and stuff. So, I mean, yeah, it definitely opened a whole another world in my head, but that pretty much happened when I was like 15 from the first time I started, leaving the States and stuff like that. Ever since then, just kept gaining knowledge and stuff like that.
As soon as Golden State picked Wiseman, I honestly started shaking. When it said 3, I went crazy. And I'm recovering from a knee injury. So I ruptured my ACL. I'm recovering from that, and I'm really paranoid about like where I walk and my running and things like that. But when he got drafted, I was jumping, and I hadn't done that for a very long time.
Look at this. Wow.
You see a lot of Charlotte Hornets gear getting around the place again now. So it's had a really demonstrably significant impact for the Hornets over here.
Crossover, left to right. Look at this. Show it, get the flyby. Oh my goodness.
The impact on LaMelo going to the Hornets. I mean, the Hornets wasn't one of those brands that had been really closely followed here in Australia since sort of the Larry Johnson, Lonzo Mourning days.
Whenever I go to like play basketball or like rep basketball, I reckon at least 4 or 5 kids like rock up in like Charlotte Hornets, like with number 2 on the back of them and like LaMelo.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I love to inspire kids. So for a kid to just go out there and see me playing and they want to play, I mean, definitely means a lot. So
it added to the ability for our young kids over here, particularly, to relate more to the NBL once again. That they love to see pathway stories of people going from the NBL to NBA, and that helps them keep the dream alive that may be possible for them one day too. And certainly we hope to play a role in the journey of many people long after LaMelo of coming through the NBL into the ranks of the NBA.
Much the narrative of being yourself and trusting yourself. I mean, I feel like whatever you think your path is, that's what you should go with and just stick with that. So